Hey everyone, welcome back here to my channel where I play Planet Zoo. My name is Litle and today we are building for the bonobos. So if you want to see how I built this habitat or learn more about these beautiful apes, then please keep watching. And this is of course the last speed build in Tzula Zoo, meaning that we are ready for the final zoo tour, which will be a live stream, and it will most likely happen this Saturday. When I say it, it's just because sometimes shit happens, and last week I have been really unlucky with, for instance, my cat getting half his face scraped off. So yeah, my focus is a little bit of other places, but for now it's planned to be Saturday, and unless everything goes wrong before then, it will be Saturday. So I already put it up, and if you go and ring the bell for that specific live stream, then if I have to change it for some reason, then you will be notified, which would help a lot, I guess. It will be 2 p.m. Danish time, which again you can't really count on. We are in summertime right now, and I think we are GTM +1, but then because we are summertime, we are an hour before or something like that. But I think the time in there changes, so if you are on your computer or your phone is on your time zone, then it should show your time zone. So yeah, again, go and check that out there, and you should be able to see what's happening in there. Today we're gonna start with talking a little bit about the build, because the main part for today is what I'm building now. Well, not this specific piece, this is gonna be a bridge, but I knew I wanted a bridge piece because most of my habitats here only have one piece of land that the staff can walk on, and then I have to find other ways to get the animals over. The thing is that the bonobos are not able to swim either, so they also need a way to go over. I could make something very climbable, which I'm also gonna do, but to have all of the food enrichments and the food option on the background here would take the bonobos away from the guests very much, which I do not want. I actually want them to be up front, especially because the habitat is so deep. Therefore, I go in this specific direction of actually making bridge pieces, which I haven't been doing in any other habitats as far as I remember for this specific zoo. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with the climbable thing. I just wanted something. I actually planned to recolor the bridge so it would look more worn, but I really like this wood color, so I actually chose just to go with it and reuse the same design for the climbable rake here. This specific thing does the fact that the staff can also walk up here, making me able to put my food enrichments up here without issues, and the staff can fill them up, and the bonobos will be able to sit up here and eat it, which is something I actually don't think I have done before ever, but it works, and I'm pretty amazed by that. I try to be very specific by making some pieces like these under supporting pieces non-climbable. Thank you so much for that toggle there. And then of course the pieces they will walk on need to be climbable. Furthermore, there's some of the pieces that hold it all, the vertical pieces. Some of them are climbable, some of them are not, specifically as to whether I want the bonobos to be able to climb up there or not. Some places it just doesn't make sense for them to do so, and some places it will. So it's all the time working backwards, forwards, what makes sense. And I try to always keep in mind that this should look like something that could be real, that could be strong enough to hold itself up. Of course someone could build this, but if you put it up and first time winds blows, it would be knocked over, then it's simply not good enough. So I try to keep that in mind. I'm not sure if I actually managed to do it right, but I really tried. When we look at the bonobo, there is actually something quite unique about their classifications when we go through them. Of course, the basics, they are in the Animalia kingdom, they are vertebrates and so on. They are of course also primates in order, but we actually both have a suborder and an infraorder on these bonobos. Again, under that we also have family and genus. We are coming to that, don't you worry. But looking at the suborder and infraorder, they are listed in that order. So the infraorder, all of those from the same infraorder will be in the same suborder. All from the same suborder will be in the same order, but not the other way around necessarily. All primates are up into suborders, and there's two of them. There is the Haplorhini, which is the one we are talking about here, where the bonobo is, which is either the simple-nosed or dry-nosed primates. And then we have the Strepsirrhini, which is the moist-nosed primates. It doesn't sound delicious, but yeah, it is. But the dry-nosed primates, again, the Haplorhini, those include the Old World monkeys, the Old World monkeys, the apes, and also us humans. So we are dry-nosed, which I think is very important to classify in this case. And I just need to say that I may have misunderstood something earlier, that the infraorder and the suborder is two different ways to underclassify under a order. So those two doesn't necessarily classify things the same way, which is funny because we don't have the New World monkeys in the suborder we just talked about, but in the infraorder, which is the forms, we have all higher primates, which does include everyone that is called ape and monkey in their name. Not that they are monkeys and apes, but they are called apes and monkeys, with a few extra individuals, the bonobo for instance. What is funny here is that in this case we do include the New World monkeys also. When we come down to family, we need to talk about this, and not only for the animals but also for ourselves, because the family of the bonobos is the Hominidae, which again, when we talk Latin and we talk homo, something sometimes ring a bell, and for me it definitely does here. The Hominidae is the family which would be commonly known as apes or greater apes. It holds 4 different genus, which is Pongo, which is the orangutans, gorilla, which is the eastern and western gorilla. Then we have Pan, which is the chimpanzee and the bonobos. So if you on my Patreon want to search for anything with bonobos and chimpanzees, you can just search Pan and it will show up. And that's of course again where the bonobos belong. But the 4th genus is Homo, and in the genus Homo there is only one single living individuals in the world at this point, and that is us humans. This is how closely related we are to these greater apes. So I honestly do believe that we should show them more respect and help them more around the world. I know they are not humans, they are still animals, but I think it says a lot that we are only a few evolutionary generations, not generation, but evolutionating states away from these greater apes. And I do believe it's something that most people simply just aren't aware of. But we need to focus on the bonobo today, and with the genus Pan, their Latin name therefore is Pan paniscus. Again, not sure I pronounced it right, but I really tried. Looking specifically at the DNA of the bonobo, 98% of it is the same as us humans. Again, going back to how familiar we actually should be to these, or be recognized to be to these. They are highly intelligent and aren't just clever, but also are able to actually have different emotions. For instance, they can both express their emotional state, but they can also be extremely sensitive to different outcomes of things. For instance, they can be stressed very easily. They can have emotional relationships to others, where it's not only most animals have a relationship to their mother only based on their needs, but for the bonobo it is also a emotional connection, which we also see in humans. Their society is also built up differently, where the chimpanzees, which are the really close relative, have this very male-dominated structure. The entire society of the bonobos are made from a more matriarchal standpoint, which gives them a more peaceful and more strong, bonded and cooperative nature, which means they are much more focused on others' needs compared to, again, the chimpanzee, where they kind of need their own needs fulfilled before they think of the flock, which again should put the bonobos as stronger positions. I mention this especially because they are sadly endangered. This happens widely because the only place they actually live at this point is DR Congo, and only in the tropical rainforest and forest areas of DR Congo. And because of the human development and all of the normal shit we talk about, they are threatened by all of these things and losing their habitat. Therefore, at this point, their numbers are roughly 29,500 individuals to 50,000 individuals. Again, sometimes numbers will be really hard to point out, especially without risking disturbing them unnecessarily. Therefore, again, according to the IUCN Red List, they are endangered at this point. And I just have to check IUCN Red List's own website and just in hope that something good was going on, and the numbers are still decreasing. And looking at their specific map, I can actually see that there's multiple places where the groups are split up for the rest of the bonobos in these beautiful rainforests. This again could be because of rivers changing direction, it can be because of roads being built or whole cities. I do not know the area, so I can't really tell you too much about it, but it is something to be aware of. Again, both websites I use will be linked below, along with my Patreon. Again, if you want to check that out, I'm really working on making it great for you guys, and I made it as cheap as possible for you guys because I wanted to. So yeah, I will come back after the cinematics, and until then, guys, enjoy. Okay guys, that's all I got for you today. As always, I really hope you enjoyed it, and you know the drill guys. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you know the next time I upload a video. I really hope to see you again, either in the comments below or in the next video. Bye guys.